We are. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. McCausland, will you please call roll?
Mr. Christensen.
Here.
Mrs. Roll.
Here.
Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor. I know he's on. I see him. Mr. Modrak.
Here.
Mr. Nagel.
Here.
Mr. Nagel.
Mr. McCausland, I am here.
Yep, gotcha.
I had to
Thank you.
unmute here.
Did you hear?
Mr. Nagel.
Here.
Mrs. Turner.
Here.
Mr. Spicuzza.
Present.
Mr. Scalzo.
Here.
Mrs. Dobos.
Here.
All 9 members present.
Thank you. I'd like to have a motion to adopt the agenda for business items.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Nagel, seconded by Mr. Christensen.
Voting is open. Mrs. Roll? Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. Dr. D'Imperio, do you have a superintendent's report tonight?
Just a brief report to continue to wish all our Bethel Park residents, staff, and students a safe and a wonderful holiday season, given the limitations that we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. D'Imperio. Public comments on agenda items. We have one comment from Sharon Janusek at 4314 Anna Street. How fitting that as we bid 2020 goodbye and look forward to 2021, Bethel Park gathers together to welcome our new superintendent. As the beleaguered world looks forward to beginning anew, so too do the students and families of Bethel Park. Bethel Park was deeply blessed this last year by the presence of Dr. D'Imperio, our interim superintendent. Through imaginable circumstances, he guided us with his experience, wisdom, and a lot of grace to do what was necessary to keep moving forward. Dr. D'Imperio, thank you for choosing us at the beginning of the year and for continuing to choose to stay with us every single morning since. Though I'm sure you thought you had been through every possible school district storm, disaster, and malady, 2020 sure put all of that experience to the test. We are immensely grateful that you weathered 2020 with us and kept stepping up to provide the leadership that you have developed through all of your years of service. The community of Bethel Park can never thank you enough for leading this district through this year, a year that would have been difficult with all of the changes to the board, the administration, and the budget before the pandemic made all of it seem even more insurmountable. Thank you, and I hope that sometime soon you can sleep in and relax. He doesn't sleep in, nor relax. Wait, lastly, a huge welcome to Bethel Park to our new superintendent. We still have a lot of work to do, and the community looks forward to continuing our proud traditions while we work side by side to keep making Bethel Park better and better. Happy New Year to all, and may we all be graced with the patience, perseverance, and kindness that we will surely need as we head into the eye of the storm with the promise of a brighter future on the other side. Now, if you'd like to...
Mrs. Janicek, thank you so much for that, for your kind words. And to make kind of a silly but sincere comment, if I were a single man, I'd ask you out on a date.
Okay, Mr. McGregor, you have the honors, please. Under Personnel Committee, our only item of business.
Okay, let me cruise down to that part of it. So the approval of the superintendent, I guess that's why we're all here, sir. And Miss, I'm sorry here, we're doing some dishes here in the background. Miss Zundel, do I read the entire thing for the agenda?
Go ahead, read the whole paragraph.
Yes.
Okay. So let me, for whatever reason, I'm not scrolling down. Anyway, okay, the Board of School Directors hereby approves and elects, according to Section 1073 of the Public School Code, Dr. James Walsh as Superintendent for the Bethel Park School District at a salary of $175,000 and under terms and conditions negotiated between Dr. Walsh and the Board of School Directors, effective for a term of 5 years, beginning immediately upon his release from his current school employment with the Burgettstown School Area District. I so move.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
And I need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Spacuzzi. And before we move forward on this and take a vote, I'd like to take a moment to introduce Dr. Walsh, Dr. James Walsh, to everyone watching and for those of you who will watch this on cable television later. Dr. Walsh comes to us with an impressive resume and stellar academic experience. In our interviews with him, we were impressed with his focus on collaboration, communication, and conflict resolution. Someone needs to mute.
On WebEx, can you mute?
Okay. Sorry. Additionally, in our interviews with him, we were impressed with his focus on collaboration, communication, and conflict resolution. Additionally, his focused and imaginative plans for the Bethel Park School District assured us that Dr. Walsh is the leader to take our district to new academic heights. After graduating from Duquesne University, Dr. Walsh began his career teaching English, theater, and television productions in Maryland and in nearby Peters Township before he entered administration as a principal in Hopewell. He then expanded his experience in curriculum development at both Aliquippa and Mount Lebanon. During his tenure in Mount Lebanon, Dr. Walsh was the district-wide curriculum supervisor and a principal. Academically and professionally, he is also currently an adjunct professor at Point Park University School of Education. Finally, Dr. Walsh's most recent experience is as the superintendent of schools in the Burgettstown Area School District for the past 5 years. Some of his initiatives there included a STEAM partnership, Tier 3 reading and interventions K through 12, and adding maker spaces. His other accomplishments include his grant writing initiatives, for which he has garnered $750,000 for the multiple districts where he has worked. As you can see from his impressive experience, Dr. Walsh brings an educationally sound and seasoned perspective to our district. He's also well acquainted with Bethel Park, both from his nearby home in Upper St. Clair and from the fact that his brother raised his family in Bethel Park. His nieces and nephews have gone through the Bethel Park school system. In an aside, by the way, he's not related to the Walsh family of Bethel Bakery, nor to our esteemed board member, Miss Walsh Turner. I'd like to thank the entire community and staff for helping us with making this decision. You all, many of you helped us by completing a survey. Many of you went to the stakeholder meetings and provided us with insight about the qualities that you would like to see in our next superintendent. And I thank you very much for that input. It helped us greatly as we were deciding who should be the next superintendent. I'd also like to thank Ms. Diane Kirk, Dr. Diane Kirk, for her help in providing and running those stakeholder meetings and also in providing a summary for us about those qualities. I especially would like to thank Dr. D'Imperio, who led our search. He provided us with all of his guidance from doing this kind of superintendent search over the years, and it was a smooth process due to your guidance, and we're very appreciative of that. We're very excited to appoint Dr. Walsh tonight, and we're certain that as you all come to know him, that you will share in our excitement. Welcome, Dr. Walsh. And now I'd like to call for our vote unless anyone else would like to say something. Okay, Mr. McCausland?
Voting is open. Mrs. Roll,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Congratulations.
Dr. Walsh, I'd like you to step forward as I put this placard as the new superintendent of the Bethel Park School District. With all due respect to Burkettstown, where you were a Blue Devil, you are today officially a Blackhawk, and we have the shirt for you. We have this cap for you. We have twin coffee mugs, pin for you, and this is, I think, a wonderful memento from Bethel School District. And it's an orange apple, and hopefully it'll be a reminder that your central role is being the teacher for both staff and students. So there you are. Yeah. Maybe the whole board should take a picture. And I'll let you take the seat and close the meeting with the board president.
Would you like to make any comments? Okay. Pick one.
Well, good evening. Let me first thank Ms. Dobos, Dr. D'Imperio, and the board for this opportunity. This is really a highlight by all means in my career. I'm most excited to get started here. You know, if there was one theme in all of the conversations I've had, coming here, researching here, and more recently interacting with folks who magically found out that this was happening. And but the one theme that was constant were the great people that work here. And I heard multiple times from various folks in the community and who've been working here or even have family here, how great the teachers and the administrators and the staff are that have made this a magnificent district, which really excites me. I'm more thrilled than ever to be able to be here and join them in this pursuit of excellence and take Bethel Park to its next best. I'm also anxious to start to meet more of the community. That was the second most common theme in my conversation is that no, I'm not related to the the Bethel Bakery. However, I wouldn't mind that affiliation as much as I like sweets. But to the community, I'm very much looking forward to being here and joining this great staff and watching your kids grow and reach their goals, exceed their goals because of our work and our pride. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited and thrilled to be here.
There are no further public comments at this time. Any board comments?
I wrote this down because I wanted to be concise. Dr. Walsh, I'm extremely excited to embark on this promising new chapter for Bethel Park School District with you at the helm. I think you'll find our family, staff, administration, board, and community at large are dedicated to and passionate about the success of our district, as you've already found out. And will be willing and enthusiastic partners in helping us achieve our full potential. Congratulations and welcome aboard.
We going this way? Sure. Okay. I would like to welcome Dr. Walsh and Mrs. Walsh to the Bethel Park community. It is a, community that will welcome all. As one of the alum on this board, we look forward to the better, as you call, for Bethel Park, especially with students in this community. So look forward to working with you. Look forward to watching you work with this staff that is an amazing staff here at Central and across the 8 schools that we have. So congratulations. And 2021 has got to be better.
So, Dr. Walsh, yes, welcome. And you shared with what you've heard about Bethel, students, staff, and community. And, I just wanted to give a little bit of visibility into at least what struck me personally as we met with you during the whole interview process. And, we talked about, a lot about your vision for what is that next best for Bethel. You gave some examples of how you kind of implemented that change in other districts, but not by yourself, by making unilateral decisions by you, but how you involved staff, the community, and very collaborative approach. And I think that for me that is exactly what this community will also value. So I think that having that kind of insight into what were the factors that kind of led to our decision, at least my decision, is worth sharing. But it was very impressive as we met you and went through this process.
Thank you. I appreciate you noticing us. I think that's my signature. Thank you.
Mr. Scalzo, would you like to say anything?
I'd like to say congratulations and welcome. I'm extremely excited. I'm looking forward to the new era that we're about to enter with Dr. Walsh. I was extremely excited about the things that he brought up during his interview, especially with curriculum, collaboration. So I am really looking forward for Bethel Park to move forward in this direction. Congratulations, Dr. Walsh. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. McGregor?
Yes, Dr. Walsh, again, thank you for accepting the position. It's going to be a great term for you and for all of us. I know you very well professionally, and I think you're going to do a great job for us. And so with you and your family, welcome. And I'm looking forward to future times.
Thank you.
Mr. Spacuzza?
Yeah, Darren sort of stole my thunder there. I was going to thank you for accepting our offer. I think that was probably the happiest day that we've had in 2020. And certainly appreciate the interview process and the insight that you provided us about yourself and about your vision and your abilities. And I think that the only way Bethel can go is up at this point. I think we've made a great decision, and just looking forward to the next year and seeing where we take this. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dr. Walsh, I congratulate you. I'm looking forward to working with you. I think it's been exciting time when we interviewed you, and also I enjoyed listening to some of your progressive ideas, and I think our district's more than ready for that. And I think with it being a new year and a whole new environment, and also knowing that education has to change now, and I think you're the person to lead that, and I welcome you aboard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Modra.
Again, Dr. Walsh, thank you. Mrs. Walsh, thank you for allowing your husband to spend his time with us, and I know how much work it's going to be for you, too. And again, like everyone else said, we're all excited to have you aboard, looking for a lot of great things coming out of here with a lot of changes, and then we're glad to have you as our leader at this time. Again, thank you for joining us, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this point then, I would like to have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Ms. Turner and seconded by Mr. Nagel. Mr. McCausland?
Voting is open. Mrs. Roll,
Yes?
motion carries.
Okay, thank you all. Mr. Ryer, can you take down the feed?